Okay, so have you ever had multiple PDF files, similar PDF files? So in this case, some invoices that carry similar format. It could be delivery notes, it could be, you know, uh, reports that you want to consolidate, and you want to get them together into Excel sheet, and then maybe even pivot tables, pivot charts, and of course Power BI, where you could use them interchangeably, right? In this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly connect all three, and yeah, let's get started. So you can see 5 invoices here that carries the invoice numbers in the name of the document, right? So what we'll do first is go to Excel, blank workbook, data, get file, from folder, right? Okay, then navigate to the folder. So you'll probably want to keep this folder in a safe place where you won't have to move it. Alright, you have combine, load, and transform. The best thing to do is transform. That way you get to make sure everything is correct before you load the data. Alright, so you have all the information here. Okay, these two arrows is to combine. Alright, once it combines, Power Query will give you multiple options. So the one that we should go for is the one with all of the data, which is this page one option here. Hit OK. Alright, it's combining. Right, and this is your Power Query editor. Okay, so here we have our query. Right, this is a combination of all the invoices. So you see this invoice here, etc. Right? So what we want to do first is we want to get this key, right? All of the sheets we're gonna make will have this key as a commonality. So first thing we need to do is split the column by the limiter. We're looking at the second space, right? So you see detected space already. Rightmost delimiter because we want only this space separation, okay? So you see it separated there. Now here we split it again to get rid of the .pdf. It automatically detected the dot. We can leave this here because it's only one occurrence, and that's it. So here and here, we could remove, right? Here we could change this to invoice number, right? Cool. So this will be our main sheet, and the other sheets will stem from this. So the first thing we want to look at is the items sold. Now the items sold would be right here in the description with a quantity, a rate, and a total amount, right? In all of them, on the description, quantity, rate, total amount. So the easiest thing to do, instead of having to filter out all of this, is to just filter by quantity. So we take off the nulls, blanks, quantity, and tax. This will give you only a quantity here. So here you have your items, quantity, rate, and total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then remove other columns. Okay, good. So here we make this a whole number. We make this a dollar sign, dollar sign. Cool. Alright, so then the next thing we want to do is duplicate this again to mess with the original. Let's look at the customers. Customer name. Okay, here we can see the customer name. How we could get this out without having to filter out all of this. Let's follow the line. So we see it links to the invoice number here, right? So how can we do this? So the best thing to do would be to maybe filter this one. Okay, so let's first change this to number. Once you change this to number format, anything that was text would become an error, right? No problem. What we'll do here now is remove errors. So all those are out. Then we'll remove the nulls. So we take all the spaces. Then, as you notice, our invoice numbers carry 4 digits. Now yours may carry 5, 6, etc. But what we'll do is a number filter of anything greater than 999. So anything 1,000 and up will be shown, right? And that's your invoice number there. So, and you see it brought down this to customer name. Cool. 1, 2. Remove other columns, right? And we have customer name. So now let's look at another thing that we will need, which is the company name, right? So here we have Kusa Marketing, here we have AAA Enterprises, here we have Billy Inc., etc. Right? What will be the easiest way to get this out? So we notice here that all these have nulls on the line, right? All nulls. So what we could probably do is get rid of everything else beside the nulls. Take off the null, everything beside the null. There's only nulls, everything beside the null. Cool. To kind of narrow things down, right? So we have these here. So let's look at our data here. We have 12 Beacon Street, so this has numbers and text. We have phone numbers here. We have @ symbol here for the email addresses, right? All the company names don't have those things. So let's do a text filter. It does not contain, let's do advanced because it's more than one, right? It does not contain the @ sign, does not contain a 1, does not contain 2, does not contain, just to be safe, we're gonna go all just a 9, right? Cool. And there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have your company name. Just 2, company name, right? So invoice number, which is the key, and the company name. Move other columns, cool. Let's do one more for good measure. Duplicate. Let's just do email address. All right. Let's look at. So that's an easy one. It contains @ symbol. Just okay. Right, and that's it. Email address. Okay. So over the columns. Cool. So we have good information here to now join together to make a nice table with all the information from all the 5 PDFs, right? Okay, so let's do this. So the first thing we're gonna start with is the customer name, right? Let's start with this. So what we do first is merge queries as new. New, we want a new query, right? We're gonna name this, oh wait, sorry. So we're gonna link the customer name first with the company name. So you have, so this is your matching here. This is why I have a key. It's like building a relationship, right? Okay. And here you have this will come up. You don't want to use original column name as prefix. It's really untidy, trust me. And we don't want the invoice number because we already have that to the front. Company name, boom, 2034, Jordan Michael Kusa. And there you go. So now we can name this summary, right? Okay, so let's go, right, that's company name. Let's add some more stuff. So now we can just merge queries regularly. Let's add the email address. We want this and this. Cool. Same thing here. We check to see if use original. Make sure this is unchecked. Take off the invoice number. Boom. Email address. Right. Let's merge again. Merge queries. So we're looking invoice number here and items sold here. Right. Okay. So once we expand this, we make sure this is unchecked and we take off the invoice number. So now we could see for 2034 this invoice by Jordan Marketing, Kusa Marketing, sorry, Jordan Mitchell, Kusa Marketing, banana bread for $100, for brownie for 50. 2038, these two, right? And if we go back to the PDF, you'll see those match. And here you could also put a total and all that. So it looks like we're done. Close and load to. Only create a connection because, or else all of these sheets will start to load. And you don't want that. You want to get a little bit of control. So you're just going to load it as a query for now, okay? Once that is done, you take your summary, right click, and load to table. Table will be A1. There you go. Banded rows. And this is a total row. There you go. Home for $sign. Right. And this is it. And from here now, you could create pivot tables. Let's add a pivot table. We're going to look at what items are bought and what the total for those. We could also look at, you could also make a pivot chart with this. Pivot chart, right? Items, and you could filter here, largest to smallest, filter table. You can add some data labels or that. You can make it as big as you want. Right, and this is only one small part. So let's name this, right? So this is your let's name it invoice summary. Let's save it on your desktop. Cool. So now if we go to Power Query, yes, and we open a blank report, we can now open an Excel, right? Invoice summary, open. Once you open that, it'll give us some options just like before. So we pick the summary option, transform. Remember, do ever load without transforming first. You want to make sure everything is okay, right? So here you see the total at the bottom with a bunch of nulls. We don't need that, right? So you take off one null from anyone and it'll come off. You have a rate, you have a total. Let's change these to currency. Quantity is fine. This one here is a whole number, right? Close and apply. And once you close and apply, you can start to build. So let's build items by quantity bought. Let's look at that in column format. We also want to see who with the slicer with the company name, who the different companies are bought, so we could see layout, single column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just to have it there. And now we could switch things up and see what's going on there. So this took all of your PDFs. Let's name this. Yeah, this took all of your PDFs from a folder and brought it together into a usable report. Now this is the best part, I think, right? So we have everything here. We have so this is your folder here, 5 invoices. Now you have 3 more invoices here that were probably done today that you wanna also see as part of your analysis. So drop this in here. Okay, we go here, data, refresh all. Let's see. It's loading. See all these here loading. And there you go. It loaded brand new invoices that were inputted into it. Right? Sheet 2 here. Look how the pivot is updated. Here now you need to save this and but you need to save this first. As soon as you save this, now you can come here and refresh this. And once this is refreshed, this will update as well automatically. Right? So you could put 10, you could put 20, you could put 100 invoices, it does not matter. it will update your information automatically because it went through all the steps before. And that's it. That's all. That's how you move from PDF to Excel to Power Query in a nutshell. Thanks for watching. Let me know if if you want anything, any specific tutorials. This has no AI. All of this is free. Well, Power BI is free. You have to have a Microsoft 365 subscription to use Excel. I think. I'm not sure. And that's it. Yeah. Cool.